Today, we got the Endicott guys, Marcus Montagnino and Elijah Kinney.
I tell everyone, like, he's one of the, if not the best player I've played with so far. And yeah, he's a killer.
How has the mindset kind of shifted for you guys from, regular season, then you get into the conference tournament, and now you're in playoffs?
Every single game I was like, shit, we're about to go undefeated. Like, no team on our schedule is going to mess with us.
I still think we're the best team out on the court. It just comes down to one game and kind of who wants it more. I really don't think anyone in the country can beat us.
Ruda added this one because it's Selly. Oh my God, you was feeling yourself this game.
Yeah. So with that two-man action, right? Marcus, what are your reads coming off the two-man action?
I went over to Marcus and I was like, yo, we just did this. And I embraced him a little bit and I was like, yo, like, we just did this. And he's like, yo, we're not done.
Obviously, there's some storylines being built already with you guys not hosting, although being the higher seed. IW's had some chippy plays recently that's been floating around different social medias. Just talk about, this matchup going into the Sweet 16.
He gave you buckets, especially the Knicks. Neruda knows about that. But, yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Not Even D2. I'm your host, KJ Allison. You guys know the deal with my co-host, Neruda Perdomo. Great episode in store for you guys today. First, how you feeling, bro? I know you on spring break. Big trip coming up, so talk to me.
Feeling real good, man. Spring break right now, like you mentioned, so nice little reset, like I mentioned the week before. It's the second day of the break, so I don't want the days to fly by, trying to enjoy every single day individually, but about to take this flight to PR, about to go to this Nets game tonight. Can't complain, bro.
Nah, that's fire. Who the Nets play?
Pistons, my guy. What you mean?
Wait, it's tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, I'm sliding in.
We out.
I bet. I didn't know. I thought it was next Tuesday. That makes it way better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm chilling, bro. I just got out the chair and my cut feeling good.
Yeah.
I just watched OKC catch a nice little dub. I remember a few months ago, a lot of people were saying they would take Luka over Shea, they would take Ant over Shea, Brunson. So it's just cool, like, making sure people remember who number two is on the court. I remember people saying when Denver healthy is over for the Thunder. And all those narratives going out the window. I'm not going to keep going on my Thunder tangent, but I just want y'all to know we still number one in the league, and slow down on, the Pistons could beat the Spurs, We'll remember, or we'll make sure everybody remembers who OKC is come playoff time. But we got to talk about some D3. We're going to go through the tournament, but let's talk about this episode first. So today we talk with Marcus Montagnino. That's how you say it?
Yep.
And Elijah Kinney, Endicott front court. I don't think it's any stretch to say that this is the best duo in Division III. I'll definitely say easily the best front court, but some other duos like Jair Knight and Ben Pierce, or Henry Vetter and I don't even know how to say it, Jarrell
Okorogu. Yeah.
So there's definitely some good duos, but this is amongst the top, bro, and this was a really fire episode. These are your boys, so I'll let you talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a fire episode. Just as a heads up for the audience, I was dealing with some Wi-Fi issues. I'm down here in New York City, so KJ had to do some elite editing, but the episode came out really good. But when it comes to Marcus and Elijah, man, you're right. Those are my boys because, the last couple of summers I've been working out with those guys, and I've kind of seen behind the scenes, this Endicott group kind of mold itself out. And I'm not surprised that, they're going this far this year. They're going as far as they have this year because this past summer, bro, Marcus kind of mentioned he was injured, but they were in the gym every single day. And that's who they are. They're competitors and they work hard. Because Marcus, his story coming from club basketball, which is a little thing about his story that people forget is that, like, he was essentially a walk-on for Xavier, Like, he was a practice player, I think he was talking about, but, like, he was part of that, like, team that won the NIT, I think, something like that. So I think people forget that about his story. Like, he was on the team kind of thing, like, practicing with Division I guys, but he playing club basketball. He's still in the gym every single day working like he got a real D3 season. And then Elijah, even though he came in killing it from his rookie year, he continued to progress and continued to have that growth mindset to get better. And they're reaching Sweet 16, bro. It's no surprise. And we kind of heard a little bit about their journeys in this episode.
Yeah, nah, it was good talking. Well, me and Elijah, for me, I had already known Marcus, two great dudes, bro. I'm rooting for them big time in the C6. Well, the rest of the tournament really, but especially this matchup against IWU, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But so Endicott is the higher seed against IWU, and they're not hosting. And there's been some things talked about, like maybe the AD forgot. I don't know if he didn't think Endicott would reach this point in the season, but this kind of like, I'm not trying to shit on him, but this kind of like male practice, bro. Like this is your job to situate your athletes, and it's. I mean, they're not looking at it as too much of a negative going to Illinois Wesleyan. It's a great venue and stuff, but bro, the Endicott games were super lit. Like, and it definitely is a home court advantage if all the fans are going crazy for Endicott. I mean, like the whole arena was filled with Endicott wearing white, or just going crazy for them, bro. And like Elijah talked about, he was running on adrenaline. So I think it's definitely going to be an impact into the game. I don't know who's going to win. I'll talk about my predictions in a second, but I just think that's kind of crazy. And again, I'm not trying to shit on the AD. I'm sure he's a great guy and stuff, but I just had to say that real quick. If you don't have any thoughts, we can go rapid fire through these Sweet 16 games.
I mean, I think it's definitely a tough situation for sure. It's a tough situation, and you feel for the AD because it is definitely a mistake because, like you're saying, like Endicott, like playing with a crowd, like playing in front of a crowd like Endicott had, like that's going to give you an extra 4 points, against the other team that you're playing, just because the crowd is going to give you the energy and whatnot. So, and also too, like I talked to my boy DJ Harder. Shout out DJ Harder, assistant on Cortland, is a great young coach. Is going to be and I hope he gets a full-time position real soon. But he was telling me about how they walked into the gym and the Endicott fans were outside the gym booing them, and they had a tailgate waiting for the game, and every time they step onto the court for warm-ups, they're booing them, and they could barely hear the ball bounce. Like all that stuff adds to the environment of the Division III game. And I'm sure Illinois Wesleyan is going to have a great crowd and it's a great venue and whatever, but Endicott in that small gym, it just creates those college basketball environments that you love, bro. And I feel bad for those guys for sure.
Yeah, we'll get into this episode in 1 second. Ruda and I, we gonna do some type of bet. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we'll go through these games and keep like a little list on who each other has. So on Friday, also some context. So the Sweet 16 will be played solo this weekend. So it's usually Sweet 16 and Elite 8, but they switched it for men's this year. So it'll be Sweet 16 by itself. Next weekend it'll be Elite 8 and Final Four in Indianapolis. And then a few weeks after that, they'll do the national championship combined with the Division I and Division II March Madness. So I think it's a good switch. I know some people don't really like change. It was a great time for Division III community to kind of just be Final Four national championship, but I think that the change will add a little bit more value to this year's tournament, make it a little bit more relevant to the rest of the country as well. But all right, so Friday we got Emory versus Yeshiva at 1 p.m. Who you got?
Emory all the way for sure.
Yeah, I got Emory. I would probably take that minus points too. But next game, Christopher Newport versus Randolph Macon, 7 p.m. This is a big one.
Randolph Macon.
No question for you?
No question.
I kind of don't want to agree with you again just because we've been already, but I got Randolph Macon too. Shout out Coach Merkel. Illinois Wesleyan versus Endicott, game of the weekend. I'd probably say 7:30 p.m.
Endicott.
I'm gonna go Endicott too. Those are the guys I've been talking highly about that, so I'm gonna go Endicott. Same time as Texas versus Walsh U, 8 p.m.
Ooh, it's a goodie. I got St. Thomas.
Okay, I got and my sleeper team's been Walsh U, so I'm gonna go Walsh U. I think Connor May is really that. He's been killing lately. And then Saturday we got Trinity versus Hood, 4 p.m. Another goodie.
Damn, Javon Yarbrough just had 40 in the last tournament game.
And Trinity hasn't looked like they were dominating early in the year. They haven't looked the same.
They almost
really.
lost to Cuca, bro.
I ain't trying to violate, but if you in a dogfight with Cuca and you the number one team in the country, I don't know if you could jack you to number one no more.
Chill,
But
bro.
the they got the win. That's all that matters. So
Yeah.
I'll take this one. I'm gonna go Trinity.
All right, I'm gonna go Hood College, man.
I say
Let's
that.
go,
All right.
Javon. Let's go. Come on.
All right, next game we got Tufts versus Wesleyan. NESCAC rematch. I think during the season Wesleyan beat them in their solo matchup. For this one, whew, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go. I think I got Joe Riley and Wesleyan getting back to another big stage, so I'm gonna go Wesleyan.
Man, I want to root for Wesleyan. You know, obviously they got our guy Joe Riley. We got my boy Zach Walensky too, but I'm going with Coach Linton and the Jumbos, man. They were in this position last year. They had lost to Redlands for a chance to go into the Sweet 16, I think, or advance to the Elite Eight, one of those two options. And you know, Coach Linton said that he felt that he didn't coach up to his standard in that game, and I know he's going to come back in this game with the chip on his shoulder and ready to lead the Jumbos to a win. And my guy Bernstein too. He going to dominate.
Heard you. It kind of hurts my heart when we get like coaches we had on the pod or players matching up against each other. I don't want to pick against them. But next game we got Gustavus Adolphus versus U Chicago, 5 p.m. I got Shane and them boys. Shane's been hooping. Nick Roper's good. So I got U Chicago. And I would say U Chicago's got to make it to the Final Four as well. But who you got?
U Chicago for sure. Shout out Shane.
Yes, sir. And then last game of the weekend, Mary Washington versus Wisconsin Lacrosse, 6 p.m. I'm not even going to act like I know anything about either of these teams.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just go on a whim and say I got Mary Washington.
I got the WIAC school.
All right, bet. So you
Yeah.
got Wisconsin Lacrosse. Say that. So those are our picks. Let us know if we were bugging on any of those games, if you guys differ. But yeah, game of the weekend, Endicott versus Illinois Wesleyan at IW, 7:30 p.m. Make sure you tune into that. Make sure you continue to tune into us. Subscribe. Go follow us at Not Even D2. And let's hear from Elijah and Marcus.
All right, we are here, man, back again for another episode of Not Even D2. And today we got the Endicott guys, Marcus Montagnino and Elijah Kinney. How y'all feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good. Looking forward to the Sweet 16 matchup. And, yeah, feeling great.
Yeah, I'm feeling good too. I'm feeling good. I'm excited to travel and play and just get an opportunity to play in an environment like this.
Yes, sir, bro. It's gonna be a big time game. We'll talk about it later on. But first, I want to start with this. I want to hear how you guys like your first impressions on each other. Walk me through like Elijah. You could start me and Marcus, and then Marcus talk about your first impressions on Elijah.
So I walked into the gym and he was walking out with my coach, and he was like, "Oh, like he introduced me." And first, in the initial thoughts, I was like, "All right, he's a lot taller than I thought." Because everyone was like, yeah, he's like 6'2", maybe 6'3", and I was like, all right. And they were talking about him as a forward, and I was like, all right, like I don't really know how that kind of works, but then we met each other, and he was a lot taller than I thought, and all I just kept hearing was he's a baseball player, and I'm like, how is this kid going to go from D1 baseball to basketball? Like, you got to have some sort of skill, obviously, and all my teammates are talking up like, nah, he's nasty. He gave me 40 in this summer league, gave me 35 in this summer league, and then we started playing together, and I'm like just blown away. I was like, yo, this kid is nasty. Like, I've played with top 100 kids at my prep school, and I tell everyone, like, he's one of the, if not the best player I've played with so far, and yeah, he's a killer.
Nah, that's tough, bro. Marcus, I don't know how you're gonna follow that up. He was hyping you up a lot just now, but I gotta hear your side of the story.
Well, first, I'll thanks to E for that. That was pretty good. Obviously, I saw Elijah play at like my senior year. I went and watched a few games when I was on winter break because I knew I was gonna go to Endicott, so I obviously knew Elijah from those games. I never met him or anything, but he was like the main reason why I wanted to go there. When a player like him, especially at this level, it's rare to get a guy that athletic playing Division III with the set of skills he has. So yeah, just seeing him first play, that was especially I think you were a freshman. Yeah, you were a freshman then. So I was blown away by the talent he had. And yeah, and then obviously I met him in the summer and going into it, and then I knew right away kind of that we could build a pretty good chemistry, and then that me and him could be a pretty good duo to kind of run this league. But no, yeah, he's one of the best players I've ever played with in my life, and yeah, he's one of the main reasons why I chose to go to Endicott.
That's what's up. That's cool to hear, man. And obviously, I know both you guys, outside of this podcast stuff, we, worked out together in the summer. Marcus and Elijah, we play in the same summer league team, but I see that chemistry from y'all over the summer. Like I said, like y'all was in the gym together every day, going to summer leagues together. And how much of that do you think like helped the chemistry overall?
Yeah, it definitely helped. I mean, like even last year, the beginning of last year, it was definitely kind of a build up, especially with not just being him, but like a lot of the other guys. Like no one really knew who I was. I mean, Rudy, like you knew who I was. I was going to Mitch's workouts. I wasn't even on a team at that point, but I just loved basketball that much. I was still doing them. But so it took a little bit getting used to it. But I think every week, every day, just growing that chemistry helped. And then, like I said, even in the summer league, like that helped too. Just playing and practicing together. And then obviously like the beginning games of this year, all that stuff, it's just kind of like led up to where we are now. And I think it's been like truly special for us.
It's helped a tremendous amount. Like before, like Marcus said, like no one really knew who he was. He's kind of just come in, kind of being quiet. Didn't really say too much. He'd let you hear it sometimes on the court, but other than that, like we didn't really know kind of who this kid from Gloucester was. And then I stayed up here for the summer and was able to work out with him. We spent a lot of time in the car together, just like talking, just a bunch of nonsense, kind of just being able to pick each other's brains about different things. And obviously going to Mitch's workouts and being able to play with each other, kind of see the things that he likes to do, understanding where he likes to be on the court when he catches the ball in certain areas, how I can move and operate off him to put myself in a position to help him succeed and myself, like just helped a lot.
Yeah, for sure. You guys definitely are like the yin and yang on the court. I feel like what Marcus does good, like benefits what Elijah does and vice versa, but also like your personality too. Like Marcus will hit a big shot and he'll just run back on defense. Elijah hit a big shot, like I'm him. Fuck y'all talking about? But I could definitely see that. We could look at some of the clips between you two. You definitely got a good chemistry going. But I want to bring it back for both of you guys. But we'll start with Marcus. Everybody on this call kind of knows a little about your story, but the people listening not gonna know about your journey getting to Endicott. And right now, like you have one of the best stat lines in Division III. I'm not gonna say it because it's too impressive, but just talk about your journey, getting here, and shed a little light from where you were to now.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long journey. Obviously, at a high school, I could have went to Endicott and played basketball. I wanted to try to play bigger or higher level, not to like crap on D3 or anything, but I just always wanted to play Division I. That was just a dream of mine. So, I went to Xavier. I also wanted to get away from home too. That was another big reason. I just wanted to go away. And yeah, I tried out for the basketball team there my sophomore year. My freshman year, I went in the second semester because of COVID. So I went in the second semester. They didn't have tryouts that year. And then the beginning of my sophomore year, I tried out, and I was kind of like a practice player. That went well. I enjoyed my time there and stuff. But they fired the coach, Travis Steele, who now is at Miami, and he's killing it there. But they fired him, and the new coach kind of like brought his own walk-on, so I got cut. But I loved the people at school there. I had a lot of friends. I met a lot of great people, so I decided to stick it out. I had friends who started the club basketball program as well. And they wanted me to join that. So as soon as they found out, they're kind of getting on me to join. And I, of course, I want to compete. I want to compete in anything I do. It doesn't matter, if we're playing tic-tac-toe or, shooting hoops. I want to compete. So I joined that, and that was so much fun. I loved my time there for those 2 years, but I wanted to play for something more at the end of the day, and I kind of knew that. So I knew I had my eligibility, so I texted Coach Bettencourt at the beginning of my senior year and just asked, like, would he still be open to me coming to Endicott to play, because he's seen me play. I played in summer leagues around, like, the area, and he still kept in touch with me. So I just texted him, and he was more than happy to have me join. It's just been a perfect fit ever since that, and I'm just excited that we're able to get to this point, especially after last season. I knew that we were a super talented team, and I wanted to make the tournament so bad, and we just fell short of that. But this year's been unbelievable, and I'm super excited to have come back for the second year.
Nah, that's your story, bro. Is one of a kind, honestly, and not only in Division III and D2 and D1, honestly, because I remember, like, we mentioned I know you from before, and I remember when we first met, and you're telling me you're playing club basketball, and I'm like, damn, like this guy is still putting in work just as much as me, and I'm playing Division III basketball. Like, you in the gym every day, preparing as if you had a 25-game, 28-game season just because you loved it, bro. And now you're shining at Endicott. It's no surprise, bro, at all. And I wanted to switch it to Elijah too, because I heard that coming out of high school, bro, you had a lot of Division I interests and Division II interests because you played at Brimmer and May, played for Rivals AAU program, a lot of Division I players around you, but you decided to come to Endicott. So I want to hear that story too, Brody.
So yeah, coming out of high school, I had heard from a lot of Division I schools, a couple D2 schools, but I unfortunately kept getting injured, sprained my ankle, was out for a couple, I think it was like 5 months, and then my first practice back, I broke my foot, so I was out for another 3 months, so 8 months of like my whole sophomore year, I was basically not playing basketball. And then going into my junior year, sprained my ankle again, got a really bad concussion, was out, and after that, college just kind of just stopped talking to me. And then going into my senior year, I had a really good summer. I played for the Mass Rivals B team. They just wanted to get me back into the swing of things, get me playing again, just make sure that I didn't really lose anything. Coach Bettencourt was one of the first people to reach out to me after, I think it was at the track at New Balance. It was like the first event they had there. He reached out to me and started he was really hard on me. Wasn't really hard on me, but for the first couple weeks, he texted me almost every day, and then after that, he kind of just let me be. A lot of other schools were hounding me, and I don't really like that. I kind of like to do my own thing. I'm not really a big texter. I'd much rather call people, and so him not texting me really kind of helped. And then he came to one of my games at Brimmer. We played, I think it was Cushing, and I had 25, 30 of our 30 points. And after that game, he told my dad straight up, he was like, I would love to have him come to Endicott, but I think he should not be playing at Division III. And he reached out to a bunch of D2 schools for me, trying to give me a scholarship offer. And that was kind of, for me, that was one of the things that really sold Endicott for me, knowing that he really wants what's best for me at the end of the day. And he's really true to his word and wants me to succeed in life, just further than basketball, whatever path I may take. So.
Nah, that's pretty tough, bro, honestly. To have a coach that has your back like that and is even saying, recognizing the talent that, you probably shouldn't be at the Division III level. You probably should get a scholarship level. You should probably be playing at the scholarship level. But you come down to Division III because, that was your situation. That was the school that, you vibed with the most, that liked you the most, all that type of stuff. And I'm wondering, this is for both of y'all. So, Marcus, you're an older player. Elijah, you're an older player. And, Marcus, you came into, college basketball after 3 to 4 years of playing either, with the Xavier men's basketball team or playing club basketball. Elijah, you came in as a talented player. How do you feel like Coach Bettencourt has, helped your games, overall? Marcus, you can go first.
Yeah, well, first off, he's definitely a player's coach. He'll listen to the players. He's not just running things his way or you sit on the bench. He's very open. He's very honest. He'll listen to, if you have something to say or if you're seeing something on the court, he'll listen. He'll respond in a positive way most of the time. And he's just super players involved. He wants the players to kind of lead everything. He has a lot of faith in us, and we have a lot of trust in him, especially in practices and things like that. Like I said, he's very player based, and he trusts us to make the right decisions out there. So that's always great to have that feeling from your coach that he has full faith in you.
Yeah, going off that, he instills a lot of confidence in you. He, at least for me, he'll bring me aside and just be, hey, you got this. I wouldn't trade you for the world. Like, I want you on my team. I want to go to battle for you. I want to go to battle with you. And like Marcus said, like a lot of our stuff is player led. Like a lot of our halftime talks is between everyone, whether they're on the bench not playing, whether they're redshirting, like everyone's involved. And it's the same thing in practice. Like a lot of times so we separate blue into white, and blue's like the starting group, white's the like kind of the bench guys. And a lot of times with the blue team, he is like, all right, figure it out. And we just gotta like figure out different situations, different game reps, and a lot of it's just like live playing. And he sets a I don't know the word for it, but a like a kind of like a blueprint, I guess, for kind of what he wants us to do. But then after the blueprint, it's us reading, reacting to stuff, and a lot of live reps. And that in games, like you can't simulate a game other than just playing. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out Coach B. And one thing, like you're talking about, you know, he has a blueprint, but he also gives you guys that freedom. I feel like towards the end of the Cortland game, it was mostly like you guys weren't running sets. A lot of coaches would still try to have that footprint on the game, and he was just like high screen and roll and let's boogie, or pass it to the post one-on-one. Let's see who's better at that matchup. But Coach B, he was a basket when he played, right? Like he was nice, if I'm not mistaken. So does he talk about his coaching days at all, or he not really?
Yeah, he brings it up. He'll be like, when we beat Kansas, when we made our run, when we did this. He's like, he also talks a lot about how he was going into Jack. Like he's like, yeah, you know, I know you guys like to shoot. He was like, I love to shoot. If I didn't get my shots up, you know, I was gonna be mad. Like all I want to do is shoot. It's pretty funny whenever he brings it up. And he's always says it with a smile on his face too. Like he knows that. But that was also like back then that was his job. So.
Nah, that's a big aspect of like former players getting into coaching roles. I don't remember which one, but someone said he's a player's coach off rip, and that because you understand like I like this, or I didn't like when my coach did this, so I'm gonna take it into my head coaching role. But last year, Marcus, you touched on this. You wanted to make the NCAA tournament really bad, and obviously things didn't go exactly how they were supposed to. You guys lost in the semis. So just talk about like how that, for both of you, Marcus, you could start again, but how that kind of like fueled your off season, how that kind of like impacted your drive coming into this season.
Yeah. No, I was definitely upset after that game, especially I just knew the talent that we had in that locker room. I knew it was more than enough to, I think, make the tournament and make a good run in the tournament even. But at the end of the day, we got outplayed that day, and that, that's just basketball sometimes, especially in these tournaments. In your conference, just one loss and, it can change the whole season, and it did. Like I think we had like 15 wins in a row, and then we lost our last regular season game. We had a bye in the playoffs, and then lost that next game, and then we were done, and it was just quick. So it was tough for the season to end like that after all the success we had, especially in that second semester. But yeah, that definitely led to where we are today. Like, if we didn't lose that, we probably, wouldn't be trying so hard, working so hard to get this far. And another thing is, we have a lot of seniors and older guys on the team as well that, they definitely don't want it to be their last, season going out, in a bad way. And for me personally, I know it's fueled me like every step of the way, getting to where we are now. And, I want to continue to go further because of that moment, for sure.
Yeah. So Marcus wasn't there for my freshman year, but we got bounced in the exact same team, exact same way, exact same players going off. And for me, it was just like, this is like, are we for real? Like, this is college basketball. And I thought, like, going into my sophomore year when Marcus was coming in, I thought, like, we had an amazing squad coming back, a lot of returners, guys who were going to be able to step up and take on bigger roles. And I was like, all right, like, this is the year. But like Marcus said, like, it's college basketball, and especially in tournament play, like, people can have a day. And going into that second semester, like, we hit our stride and started playing really well, got 15 wins in a row, I think it was. And like Marcus said, and then in a week we lost 2 games, and then our season was over. And it was, for me, it was heartbreaking because I hadn't won anything ever and just like being so close and thinking that you have all the pieces in the room, but not being able to put all those pieces in the right places to get it done was really heartbreaking. And it still fuels me. Like, just the taste of winning never gets old. Like, being able to win and the success that we've had so far, like, I'm never satisfied with how much we've won, and I'm always like chasing more and want to just do more to get to a higher stage and just continue to win, because it's addicting.
Nah, I'm definitely rooting for you guys, bro. It's been a special season so far. I mean, you guys have been killing, like undefeated in conference, so that already puts you in a certain pedestal. And then, you just beat top 25 team, probably like up there for first or numerous times of Endicott making like the Sweet 16. So shout out to y'all leading it. And I'm curious, like, one thing I hate when people get on and they give like coach talk to all my questions. So I don't want coach talk when I ask this question, but like, how has the mindset kind of shifted for you guys from, regular season, then you get into the conference tournament, and now you're in playoffs? Like, yeah, it'd be easy to just say like, oh, we're just taking it day by day. And I'm sure you go through the same routines, but the mindset has to be a little bit different at this point in the season. So just talk about, like, for each of you, how it's kind of changed as you advance rounds moving forward. Elijah, you could start with this.
Yeah, so going into the season, to be honest, there wasn't this game on our schedule that I was like, we're going to lose. Like, every single game I was like, shit, we're about to go undefeated. Like, no team on our schedule is going to mess with us. And especially after us beating Tufts at home, I was like, this is the number 4 team in the country. Like, we're putting ourselves on the map here. Like, we got guys, and we got such a deep team. And I was like, yeah, nah, we're straight for the rest of the year. And then obviously, like, we took a tough loss to Colby. We came back down 20. And I think truly, like, that lit fire under everyone, because we were like, yo, like, anybody can beat us. And then going into conference, I had that same mentality. I was like, no teams can mess with us. Like, we're one of the best teams in the country. I still think we're the best team in the country. And until proven otherwise, I'm going to talk like we are, because like, I got confidence in my guys, and I got Marcus backing me up on that. So, and I think going into the tournament, just like you said, like, not to be coach talk, but like, we're just trying to take it like game by game. Like, we want to survive and advance. We talk a lot in the locker room, like, just win every 4 minutes, because media timeouts, you play 4-minute games, and if you leave your all out there, then you can be happy with the results, whether they're good or bad. But we just try to focus on the 4 minutes. Each 4 minutes, just try to win those. And if we can get a turkey, like 3 stops in each of those 4 minutes, like, we're going to win most of those games. So,
Yeah, I kind of start with the exact same thing, especially like looking at our schedule, especially last year, just playing in those games. And I think we had like 8 losses last year, but every game I'm thinking, like, after we lost, I'm like, this game's winnable, like, in some of these teams, we played last year were really good. Same with the teams we had scheduled this year. In the first half of the season, they were really good, but I'm thinking to myself, we can win every game. Like, I don't see a game that we should lose realistically, especially to me. Just with the talent I knew that we had, I kind of figured like we weren't gonna, like, we shouldn't lose these games, as what I'm thinking the entire way. And then, especially going into our conference, I definitely didn't think we were gonna lose a game going into that, because those 2 teams who won last year, who were successful last year, they graduated like all their players. So I kind of knew it would be hard for teams to replace their starting 5 and compete with us, because we're basically all coming back. We lost like 2 players that played minutes, but yeah, I knew that we were gonna have a dominant season. And then it's just been just so fun to play these games, especially playing against these better teams, or teams that are in the tournament now. We're supposed to be great teams, and they are a lot better in my opinion, but I still think we're the best team out on the court. And it just comes down to one game, kind of who wants it more. And I really don't think anyone in the country can beat us.
Nah, that's super tough, bro. Both great answers. And I'm wondering, so what were some improvements? You guys losing the semifinal last year to Suffolk, right? You guys are in the summer working out with Mitch, playing in different summer leagues. what was the mindset like, just in terms of what did you want to get better on? Because obviously you guys have, like Marcus, I feel like you've taken another jump this year. Elijah, obviously you have. So just talk about that. I'm kind of interested.
For me, I know statistically, like I think my numbers is pretty similar to what they were last year, but I feel like my teammates have also just stepped up in a big way. So it just, makes it easier for me, when they're making shots and making plays. I know Elijah's, his numbers have gone up a lot since last year too, which is, tremendous to see and just helps me even more get open and things like that. But yeah, definitely in the summer, I try to work on more specific things. I kind of got hurt this last summer. I sprained my ankle pretty good. So it was hard to get better, like physically with the basketball things I wanted to. But mentally, I feel like I can always get better mentally, especially in basketball, figuring things out on the court, just, like what teams are doing. I feel like I have a pretty good basketball brain and able to like pick up things pretty quickly, like, like the sets they run or which guys, are their players and their tendencies. I feel like I'm pretty good at picking that up pretty quickly. So just trying to grow my mind in the game in that sense. I watch a lot of basketball, a lot of film, especially during the season is when I watch a lot. But yeah, during the summer, just staying focused and committed and, just putting in the work every day and trying to get better because I knew that we'd be back at this point, like you said. And I think it's definitely paid off and been helpful.
Yeah, real quick before Elijah goes on his answer. One, I was in New Hampshire when you had the sprained ankle, so that's just crazy. The one time I see you was injured. But also, like you said, your stats are pretty similar. But I'd say this shows that you went up a level because, like last year, you were the new guy on the block and nobody really knew. So yeah, you scoring 25 is like, damn, where'd this kid come from? But now you're first on everybody's scouting. And you're still putting up the same numbers, so that shows that you grow on a level. But Elijah, you could talk about your growth.
For me, a big piece was just getting in shape. Like, I came in last year thinking I was in shape, and it was like kind of taken aback by like you always just forget how different game shape is and being in shape. And so this summer for me, I focused a lot on being in shape, like getting in shape. I ran a lot, spent a lot of time at the track, on the assault bikes, and just doing anything I could to just try to get as best shape as I could. And then a big piece for me was kind of stepping into a leadership role, like becoming an upperclassman. Like I knew that these guys were going to look to me and being a the biggest person on the team, a kind of big personality. Like the guys are going to look to me in tough moments and kind of see if I'm weathering, if I'm falling. Like, and for me, it's kind of a different experience because obviously coming from playing with rivals and playing at Brimmer, like I was just a role player. Like I didn't have the opportunities or like the keys basically to a team. And so learning how to be a leader was a big part for me. And obviously like I wanted to shoot better. I didn't really think I shot the ball well the past 2 years, especially the 3-ball, and then just like rebounding, like I knew like obviously Marcus is going to get it done. And I knew that if I could get better, get my numbers up, that it would make everything a lot easier for him. And then just having all the guys just like being able to step up whenever we need them, like it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure, bro. All right, now he matured, but I definitely like both of you guys are having really good seasons. I could pull up the stats real quick, but we're gonna get into some film breakdown with both of you guys. Look at some clips. I mean, we're just gonna go through from the conference championship for the viewers. With conference championship to the first 2 rounds of the tournament. The stats, Elijah, you averaging 21 and 12, shooting 57% from the floor. And Marcus, impressive 22, 8 and 5, shooting 58%. So both of you guys super efficient, balancing each other well. And we're going to get into some film. I'll pull it up. Ruta is how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, it's Gucci.
All right, but we got to start with this one for sure. Hey, on his head. You was feeling yourself this game, but
Yeah.
you feel like because there's going to be a later clip where you just lay the ball up. You was just on adrenaline this one, or?
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, obviously you see the crowd, and we had this game rolling like from the jump. I made my first, I think it was 3 shots, and I was just feeling myself. And going into this game, like I didn't get to play against them in the earlier in the semester, and this was a game I had circled. So for me especially, like playing against these guys, super physical, they talk a lot of trash, and I love being in environments like that. And so I saw my boy Cam, he poked the ball loose, and then if you go back a little, you'll see me once I cross half court, I look at Jeff and I'm pointing up, and we made eye contact. He pointed up, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go get that." And that was kind of the exclamation point on the game. After that, I was like, "Yeah, there's no way they ain't doing nothing after that."
Yo, you started talking crazy to bro. He didn't want no smoke. Nah, but we'll get into this next one. But this is also like, look at the Endicott crowd. You guys not hosting hurts my heart for you guys. But we'll get into this next one. 3-ball early. Ruda added this one because it's Selly. Oh my God, you was feeling yourself this game.
Yeah.
Nah, that's funny. Good pass 3-4.
All right, I'm wondering real quick. So with that 2-man action, right? Like, Marcus, what are your reads coming off the 2-man action? Because like, obviously, so play the clip a little bit. So they're switching it, and then what? You just reject after that, and what are you looking for after that in the paint?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he switched it. He's pretty high up. I think at that point, he comes up pretty high. So I knew that he's usually gonna roll. So obviously, when he goes down, I knew there's gonna be space open in that middle. And then at that point, I'm just trying to get his defender now, who was on me, just make a reader between me and E. And then obviously he chose me, so I'm gonna pass that every time. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely difficult for teams to guard that.
I was going to say, like, because if you have a 5 on Elijah and then you switch that, Marcus can go by you with the dribble. I mean, Elijah could too, but Marcus probably a little bit better going by north and south downhill. And then, like, you're just forcing so much, like, all 5 eyes are on you. So, like, you could hit the shooter if you wanted to. Elijah's in a dunker. So, IW gotta watch some film. That's all I'll say.
I mean, and to add on to that, like, how often do you see a forward having over 100 assists in Division III? Like, that's pretty tough, because I think you have 130 assists. Is that OD or nah?
I have no idea. I feel like it could be a little bit more. I feel like they go cheap.
Probably
on
a little
assists,
bit more. I was about to say.
Yeah, so
Yo.
that's tough, bro. That's tough.
Nah, real quick, I've been doing like stats for NYU, and I don't blame the people that get the stats wrong, bro, because that junk is harder than it looks. But we'll get into this next one. Nice little 2-minute. Oh, nice pump. So Marcus, I'm curious, is your first read like you want to get downhill, or are you more comfortable shooting the 3?
I mean, I
Just
know
a
probably
real 3-level scorer, to be honest. But go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely probably want to get in the paint. Obviously, that's like my first goal. I mean, I feel like I've worked a lot on my shooting, especially the past few years. I feel very comfortable shooting. But obviously, what's easier or more higher, a 3 or a layup? So I'm trying to get a layup every time, really. But yeah, I definitely have confidence to shoot that. And I know sometimes I definitely should shoot them more. Like, there's times where I definitely need to just get it up just to, make them even respect it more. But yeah, I would say I'm probably trying to get downhill more.
Heard you.
That slow
pretty,
step, bro. Yeah, jumper's pretty, but the slow step too, like that. I feel like that's a move that you go to a lot. Like, we have a clip. We have a clip later of one of your floaters in that Cortland game.
Yeah, it's definitely effective, especially for me. I'm not the fastest guy out there, so it definitely helps get some separation.
Nah, I feel that. Elijah getting back on the rim. Hey. Yeah, bro, that's tough. So, do you guys have like a favorite like moment of the season? I feel like Elijah, you getting on the rim a lot. Do you guys have a favorite moment?
For me, it was when the buzzer sounded in our game against Western New England in the championship. Honestly, maybe even a little bit before that, like when I got subbed out, probably like with 2 minutes left to go in the game, I kind of started crying a little bit. I went over to Marcus and I was like, yo, we just did this. And I embraced him a little bit, and I was like, yo, like we just did this. And he's like, yo, we're not done. And to me, I was like, in that moment, like, I had tears coming down my eyes, but I was like, nah, like, you're right. Like, we got a lot more to go. And for me, like, that was just like, damn, I actually just won something. That was the first time I won anything in my life. So for me, that was big.
Yeah, bro, you started crying. I don't know if I could jack that, but I never won a conference chip, so there's levels to that shit. So we'll get into this next one. Oh yeah, Marcus, this is one of my favorite clips of yours.
Yeah, for some reason this year I feel like I haven't been able to get. For some reason I feel like I'm not shooting as many fadeaways as I did last year, but
That's really dirt.
yeah, but that's probably one of my favorite shots. Like just in general, I think because it's hard for a defense to like contest it, and I know if I get it off, usually my hand, it's either me that's either making it or missing it. It's not really like the defense as long as I can get it off.
That's Paul Pierce right there.
That
Yeah,
too.
that is literally maybe a little bit of mellow too, but I gotta get the footwork better for that.
This not really like film breakdown, but did you guys feel like it was obviously Cortland plays slow, but I feel like they were making a conscious effort, number 24 and 23, especially to like play in the post. Do you guys take that a little bit more personal or not really? You just hooping?
I did. I definitely took it a little bit more personal. I pride myself on my defense. I think I'm the best defender in our conference and one of the best in the country, especially like in the paint. And like that, the kid's a moose, 24, and they're some big boys. But I was just kind of like, I'm willing to battle. Like I battle with bigger people and held my own. And for me, like that's fun. Like I like getting hit. I love that. So especially like coming from a football family, like my dad played football at a high level, and so for me, like I love contact. I love all that. So I want all the smoke down there.
Nah, that's tough. I seen your pops played at UF. That's massive. But
Yeah.
all right, we'll get through this. That's super tough, Marcus. That's super tough. Matt touched on it too. That's a big basket. I feel like in the game too, you guys were just like you could see it in the score. You guys would score, they would come down and score. It was just back and forth the whole game. Yup, jumper pretty.
Yeah, I wanted to add this clip because Marcus, like just like knowing you over the last, I don't even know, 3 to 4 years now, like your jumper in this clip looks completely different from when I first met you. Like your elbow is a lot more in. If you slow it down, like it's literally, like it's not coming out at all. Like your elbow is staying. Nah, it's all good, K. But it's not coming out at all. And I feel like when I first know, like you could still shoot, but it's like the little things that I feel like you might have adjusted in your shot. So talk about that.
No, yeah, obviously, yeah. When I first met Ruda, my jump shot was definitely a little bit different because I have like even photos of me shooting. Yeah, and it was definitely different than it is now. I feel like now it's at a pretty good place, especially last year too. I feel like the end of last year is kind of like where it felt like my best. Even like at the end of the season, when the season ended, I feel like those few months before I got hurt, it felt really good. And then obviously, like I said, I got hurt in the summer, but even after that, it still felt pretty good. And then just sticking with those similar shooting habits that I have like every day or, same routine, is huge for me. Just sticking with that and trying to figure out what exactly feels the best. And then obviously during the season, I'm not really trying to tweak my shot a lot. That's more of an off-season kind of thing if there's a problem. But, yeah, it just feels good right now, and I feel like I'm at a good place with it. And, of course, I think it can get better. I want to improve on, like, getting it up quicker. I think I can definitely get it off a little faster. But, yeah, just making those small adjustments in the summer definitely helped for sure.
Nah, I respect it. Jumper pretty, like I've been saying. Great arc. I got to see it in person to see the rotation, but it looks good, bro. And then Elijah, this is my favorite clip of yours. This is OD. Oh, my footwork. Yeah, that's tough, bro. So you work on footwork stuff, or you was just trying stuff in this spot?
So I was kind of just trying stuff. I was kind of slow offensively, like in the last couple of games, but I've been doing my work like defensively. But I hurt my wrist Like I have a brace on. I can't really use my left hand, and my touch has kind of been off. And so I was just like, all right. And I knew this kid, he liked to move a lot and kind of bite on a lot of different things. So right there, I was just like, all right, let me just get into the bag real quick, see what I can get through, see what I can do. And that kind of came of it.
Nah, that's tough. Naruto joined back, but yeah, bro, you guys definitely both doing crazy work. It looks good, both of your guys' film, and I'm excited to see this weekend because I'm not saying Cortland's not good. They obviously are top 25, but I think there is a little bit of a level that IW is above Cortland. So I'm interested to see this matchup coming up. And real quick, like, obviously you guys probably will dive in more into the film throughout the next few days, but just what are your initial thoughts when you think about, all right, we're about to go play at IW? Obviously there's some storylines being built already with you guys not hosting, although being the higher seed. You know, IW's had some chippy plays recently that's been floating around different social medias. They're a big team just like Cortland, so Elijah's going to take that personal. Again, just talk about, this matchup going into the C16.
Yeah, so, just to touch on that, like, not hosting thing real quick, like, we just want to, like, shout out all the fans and people who supported us through this whole thing. Like, all thanks to you guys that you have helped make the season what it is. And, it's unfortunate, but, like, there's nothing like getting a road win, nothing like a road test and going into a hostile environment and being able to, quiet those fans. So my whole team's looking forward to that. And just to be able to, like, travel, like, part of the reason you play and do this whole thing is to be able to go out and see the country and see different places. So we're really excited to go out and see them, especially, like, they got one of the best venues in all of Division III, probably in all of sports or across, like, all divisions, to be honest. So we're excited to get out there, go see them. And, initial thoughts, they're a big physical team, and we love that kind of stuff. Like, my team, we're all for that. We're coming for all the smoke and can't wait for it.
No, yeah, just building off what you said. Yeah, I haven't really watched a crazy amount of film, but yeah, a bigger physical team. They definitely play a good style of basketball, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm dying to play, better teams and compete for more, and I'm just excited.
I'm excited for y'all, bro. I'm excited to tune in Friday at 7:30 our time, 6:30 y'all time. It's Central Time.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So it's definitely going to be a great matchup, bro. Definitely going to be tuned in. Definitely rooting for Endicott basketball, my guys. But, we got rapid fire, and KJ got starting 5 after this. But y'all ready for rapid fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, bet. So, Marcus, I know that I mentioned Paul Pierce, but I want you guys to name your player comparison either in college basketball or in the NBA. Marcus, you can go first.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stick with that, Paul Pierce. I mean, obviously, I watched him growing up a lot. I don't really know. I've gotten some nice comparisons, but I don't want to say I'm not going to compare myself to some of the players that I've been compared to. But, yeah, Paul Pierce is definitely one of my favorites ones. Because, he wasn't the most, the fastest guy, the most athletic, but, he showed a lot of heart on the court. And, he got to his spots, and he still, he gave you buckets. Especially the Knicks, Naruto knows about that, but yeah, I think that's a good comparison, I guess, for now.
For me, I would have to, a lot of my teammates say Bam Adebayo. Like, I like the mid range. I'm pretty good on defense, and I can step out, shoot the 3-ball, stretch the floor when I need to, and be able to attack off triple threat. So I watch a lot of him, and I'm trying to model my game a lot after Paulo Banchero, just a bigger physical player. You can just body people, get downhill, and get to his mid-range. So those two guys for sure.
I like those two comparisons. Next rapid fire question I got. So if anyone knows Marcus, he doesn't like to give – I feel like Marcus doesn't like to give a lot of, like, other players, like – I don't want to say credit, but, like, I'll be like, yo, Marcus, you think this guy tough? And he'd be like, nah, bro. He'll be like, nah, he's not tough. So I want to hear from both y'all, who's one of, like, Elijah, you've been playing in D3 for 3 years now, Marcus too. Who's one of the best players that you guys have, like, pound for pound, you guys have, matched up with? Just one, because we got starting 5 after this.
In Division III, I gotta say my guy Josh Bernstein, just a big physical, just a brute. He's a handful whenever I playing against toughs, gotta guard him. It's fun. It's always fun, but
Yeah,
that's my guy. Shout out Josh.
word. I like that. What about you, Marcus?
I mean, I gotta be honest. I mean, he got the better of me. I'll give it to him. Keenan Robinson, got the better of me. So I'm gonna say he played well, especially in the big moment. He dominated that one game last year, and he played well in the regular season too.
Wait,
So yeah,
repeat the name. I didn't hear it.
Keenan Robinson, right?
He went to
Keenan
Suffolk.
Robinson.
Robertson, yeah.
Robertson, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
But no, him, he was a problem. Like I said, especially he stepped up in a big moment, especially when like no one. I mean, we knew he was good, but like no one thought he was gonna have a game like that, especially where he shot. So, and I think he had a huge game, like their next game, even though they lost. I think he put up like 38 or something. So, he was definitely a real good player. And then trying to think one other player.
Nah. You can leave it at one
Well,
because KJ got starting five.
leave it?
So yeah.
All right,
Because
my bad.
nah, you good. You good. What was your starting five question, K?
You want me to get into it now?
Yeah.
Alright, I actually not gonna do a starting five. I'm gonna just add on to Ruda. It'll be a nice little mix. But so you guys are in the Natty and you need one basket. I want to know like your dream scenario. Elijah, you could start.
Dream scenario, need a basket. I would say, honestly, I would say some sort of putback. Like someone shoots something, no one boxes me, I like come through two hands and just punch it.
That's tough.
That's tough. All right, Marcus, what about you?
I would probably say I'm probably gonna get a screen and try to get a switch first of all to get someone I want on me, and then I'm either gonna try to get all the way to the cup or hit like a fadeaway or some type of midi. That'd probably be the best scenario for me.
Tough. Both good baskets, can't lie.
Yo, if that happens, the clip we can make off of that, it would be crazy. So I need someone to make some magic. But that's gonna do it for another episode of Not Even D2. Appreciate you guys getting on. I know it's a busy week. Appreciate y'all, and we're gonna be rooting for you this weekend. So keep it going, and we'll talk soon, fam.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys.
My brothers, man.
Shout out to the guys, Elijah and Marcus. They're having crazy seasons, both averaging over 20, both shooting really efficient from the floor. Both great guys. So I'm not gonna say I'm a fan, but definitely rooting for the guys. Hope they get it done this weekend. What you think about this episode?
I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan of Endicott basketball, man. Shout out Elijah and them. Those are my brothers, man. But definitely a great episode, and I think it's gonna be a great game, man. Illinois Wesleyan, they got a good team. Noah Cleveland is a great big. They get chippy and whatnot, so should be good.
For sure. And we're gonna get out of here with our little Not Even D2 spotlight where we just talk about something we had on the pod, big season, a big game they recently had. I don't know if you want to start, but let's get into that.
Yeah, I could start real quick. For my Not Even D2 spotlight, today is a big game tonight. This episode is gonna release after this game is played, but I'm rooting for Santa Clara University, man. They are in the WCC championship. They just beat St. Mary's, who's ranked above them in the WCC. So I'm rooting for Coach Ludwig and the guys to go win that championship tonight and get to that tournament for sure.
Yeah, that would be massive, bro. Santa Clara's been hooping, bro. And you said they play St. Mary's?
No, they played St. Mary's yesterday. They play Gonzaga tonight.
Oh, okay. So, that's a crazy Final Four and
It's going to be wild, bro.
Championship. But St. Mary's recently just got ranked, too. So, the WCC getting some love. And I'm not going to say one specific player. I'm going to go through a list real quick. So, shout out Maggie Dugan, two-time A10 Player of the Year. Recently got that nod. Lauren Whitaker, WCC Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year. That's OD. And then my final one's going to be Joel Foxwell, Freshman of the Year and First Team All-WCC. And shout out to them, bro, getting on the pod and having special seasons, representing us well. Definitely keep going. A lot of them are young, besides Maggie, but Joel and Lauren, they got a bright future ahead of them. I'm curious to see where their future goes, but that's going to do it for another episode of Not Even D2. We appreciate you tuning in, listening to us week to week. Like I said, be sure to check out Illinois Wesleyan versus Endicott. We're going to be tuned in, and we'll see you next week on Thursday.